plugged into full TV. When your opinion matters, actually, it's needed. You want to talk about politics? Let's talk about it. You want to talk about current events? Let's talk about it. You want to talk about those dumb-ass individuals, stars, so-called celebrities, reality stars? We'll talk about their asses too. That's Full TV, PHO-TV. Okay, so now we were talking about September 11th. We came in with it. So I will actually, it's very dear to my heart because I actually had a friend of mine who's actually fighting in Afghanistan as we speak. So I want to know from Nemesis and Hart Lavelle, where were you guys at? Where were you guys during the attack of September 11th?
Well, actually, during the time I was a truck driver. I was on the Bayonne Bridge in Bayonne, New Jersey, looking across the water, watching the smoke float to the sky. I was stuck in traffic for 5.5 hours. It was crazy. People were getting out their cars, running up and down the highway, crying, couldn't get to the, the family over in New York, trying to reach them and whatnot. But it was hectic. It was crazy. It was sad. I've never seen anything like it before. I never experienced anything like it before. I don't know. I would never want to see nothing like that ever again.
Mr. Hart?
Hey man, at the time I was doing customer service, so I was at work. It was a tragic situation, you know what I mean, definitely. And my heart goes out to all those, that had any casualties, or all those families that had suffered for loss. It was definitely a bad situation that happened, and as being United States citizen, yeah, at the end of the day, I think we did what we had to do as far as retaliating against the circumstances. And I believe in 2011 we just actually had a situation where we actually was able to capture and, from what I hear, kill bin Laden. But again, in these situations and times, we definitely have to give a moment of silence, for those who were lost in that situation in 9/11. So definitely, again, my heart goes out to all those, and my prayers is definitely, was with you.
Cool. I can remember I was actually in class, Cheney University, Historical Black College. I was actually in class when the announcement was made. They told us to evacuate, and I'm like, evacuate? So they told us that, it was an attack on America. So I figured, whatever, this is America. And I think that we as a people over in America, or we as a society, we kind of take advantage of our liberties. So
we do.
With them saying that, it kind of took me by all, you know what? I don't really think so. I thought it was actually a joke. So anyway, went to the television, went into the dorm room, Yarnell Hall, the lobby, went into the dorm room and actually saw the attack, and that's when I saw the third plane hit. And it actually struck me like, wow, we're really vulnerable. We too can be attacked by, terrorists. But my question was, were they really terrorists? And we look at it as terrorists, a terroristic act, but I'm thinking you know what? We don't know the background to it. So again, I'm gonna ask you another question. How did you feel knowing that we as Americans were just as vulnerable to attacks as any other country? Anyone could chime in on it.
Well, me myself, I was me not being a fearful man of anything. I was frantic, knowing that the possibilities of that even happening. I took for granted that for how we live, other than other countries, and for something like that to happen just had me frantic. I was in fear.
That's like the perfect adjective.
Yeah.
To describe how one was feeling, because I'm looking at the planes actually hit, and it's like a Die Hard Avengers movie. I'm sitting there wow, these planes are really hitting. And you see the people frantically running through the streets of New York, as well as you hear the reports of the plane that crashed actually into Pennsylvania, and you know, it really kind of set me down and say, yo, you know what? Like, we really are vulnerable, man, vulnerable to attack. And like, we're not this big country, which, you know, this big bad country, which most other countries probably look at us as, you know, and
untouchable.
Yeah, we're not untouchable, man. You know, so
we are.
As you know, as those planes hit, I'm looking like, you know what, man, I should cherish every day and every moment and seize every opportunity to better myself. You know, so, you know, that's pretty much the gist of that September 11th, because then again, I was a freshman, so I didn't look so deep into it, but as the years went on, you know, I felt as though like this was something to really look into, you know, and it was something to pay attention to. So we have thousands and thousands of servicemen who gave their lives, and those who actually toiled through the rubble of the Twin Towers, you know, those who lost their lives in the Twin Towers. It was just something to really look at and something to really cherish. Like, you know what, at that moment, there was no black, no brown, no yellow, no white. It was just the human race. And I understood that, like, you know what, if it take this to bring us all together and do away with our differences, then maybe we need this every year. Maybe we need this every year.
I agree.